Resilience is the human quality that allows a person to be knocked down or even out by life and come back at least as strong, hopefully stronger, changed but not for the worse. In every episode, we examine what qualities make someone stronger, more flexible, emotionally, mentally, even spiritually. Next Set is committed to changing lives for the better. We hope you enjoy these podcasts. All right, we're back with the Next Set podcast. Today we have the team.
Yay, go team.
Yay, so you get to experience the team, the Next Set team. We have Peter, Johnny, Pat, and Jason. and me.
Rachel.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to shoot questions out to you guys. This team is fantastic. These are guys that I highly respect and that from a female perspective, have a lot of respect for women and children. So I really like working with you guys. Everybody has a different specialty, different angle that they come from. Peter, tell us a little bit about your background and your entry into Next Set.
Yeah, so I worked for a lot of years in private equity, early stage investing, and started a company called D Street Marketing. That was just a marketing brand, and kind of born out of that, I had a client that sold shaker bottles, and we were exploring new markets, and my wife was pregnant at the time and was very sick, and we had the idea that no one was really selling protein to women, let alone pregnant women, and the idea was born. We just kind of ran with it, and we ran that company for a few years, and it's still going. But some researchers at the University of Utah came across my profile and wanted me to talk about a product they had created that they had tested extensively with women who were pregnant, or not pregnant, but suffering from depression. They thought it would be a natural fit with women who are suffering from postpartum depression. And it didn't really fit at the time. And Rachel, we worked together at Mommy. We looked for other companies that this product would fit with, and no one wanted it because some of the drug-like properties the product had. And so Rachel connected me with the Next Set team, and we started thinking about, would this product be a good fit for the military with some of the cognitive issues the guys coming out of the military have. We started testing it, and they had the courage to run with it, and so that's kind of how I came to be here.
In like a perfect day for you would include what? Go through a perfect day in the life of Peter.
I don't know. There's a lot of ways I can have a perfect day. You know, I could be skiing with my kids. That's always fun. I could be out jeeping in Moab, middle of the summer. It's hot, but that would be great. I mean, there's no one set formula for a perfect day. Every day is pretty awesome if you let it be.
So how do you define success? Like in your personal definition of success, what's your mission in life, basically? Like, not a small question, but and those may be two questions. What's your definition of success, and what's your mission in life? Like,
you know, I think to be happy is what I care about more than anything else. Like, there's nothing better, and you can't be happy if you have issues with your family, if you have issues at work. But that's the one thing that I want out of life.
What kind of people do you like to work with?
I like to work with people who are honest, people who are driven, and people who don't have to be managed. I think if you don't like the people who you work with, you may be doing the wrong job.
Yeah. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years?
I don't know. That's a really hard question. What I'm aiming for is maybe a house in San Diego on the beach. Nice tan.
You're going to have to come back to ski.
Yeah. I imagine doing a lot of what I'm doing now. I like working with young companies. I like figuring out how to make products work. It's a lot of hard work, but it's rewarding. I don't anticipate I'll change.
Tell us why you like working with Next Set, or the potential you see for Next Set.
Working with Next Set has presented me with a unique opportunity to dramatically change people's lives. And looking at testimonials, some of which we can't use because of what's said, some of which we can, seeing the light come into people's eyes that have been dark for a long time. to me, that's really remarkable. And I'm honored to have the opportunity to be able to push a product like this.
So you feel like this is something that's long term. It's something that you want to see in the hands of a lot of different people who maybe suffer from depression, anxiety, PTSD.
Yeah, I believe in this product. I think it's different from every other product that I've worked with, every other technology, in the sense that it changes people's lives for the better. And I think that's remarkable. I don't anticipate I'd work with another product like it again.
Tell us something you're looking forward to in the next 6 months. It can be fun.
I'm looking forward to summer.
San Diego.
More skiing.
Moab. Yeah, buddy.
And Johnny, tell us a little bit about how you got involved with NXT SET, what your background is, and how you ended up with this awesome team.
I've been really close friends with Pat for a very long time. Fun fact, we actually have the same birthday.
Happy birthday.
Year apart. But no, Pat and I, we
My parents were slow.
we'd spent quite a bit of time just just in our personal lives, just having fun, making trouble. And we've had many conversations, and supplements started to be a conversation. And then it wasn't too long after that where Pat was having other conversations. And then when they all came together, we just grabbed onto this concept and ran with it, brought this company.
So what's important to you? What's your definition of success? And what's your mission statement?
I don't want to copy you too much, but I just want to be happy. Getting a little older and trying to work through a lot of things, and happiness is paramount. Just trying to be happy with self and okay with others.
Tell us about some of the people that you enjoy working with. What's your style?
Oh, my work style? How do you mean?
Like what is your work style? What projects do you like being involved in?
I'm definitely a creative. I love to be very creative. And I rely on guys like Peter and Pat to really focus me and keep me online. I need to be managed. I'm not one of the guys he loves to work with, but no, I'm just I love the creative process and being creative.
Define success for you.
Oh, calm and peace when my eyes are closed. Just being, again, happy with self. That's happiness, and I'm still working on that and allowing myself to be happy. But that's a new thing I'm working on.
And
there's something to be said about sleeping through the night, not having things that keep you up or wake you up in the middle of the night.
Definitely.
I like that, being at peace.
Yep, peace.
Yeah, these guys are chill. We could all go surfing. What are you looking forward to the next 6 months?
Oh, absolutely summer. With the winter storm that hit today, I know a lot of people here really like recreating in the snow, but I just want warmth right now. I really enjoy that.
Pat.
Yes, ma'am.
Little bit about your background and how you got involved with NXT SET.
So my background is pretty much an operational type person. That's what I've done for the last 20 years, is just ops. I live and die by spreadsheets. That's just pretty much what I do. It's my life is in the details. And so that helps balance a lot of people out. But I've been essentially kind of as a consumer in the fitness supplement world for off and on for 12, 15 years. And I've one of those people that I feel like I've taken everything that there is out there. And my biggest problem is that I never really knew what I was getting. And it's kind of how this whole thing came together, as me and Johnny would talk about supplements, what the market was like, and the fact of trying to fill holes where there's a lot in this type of market. And so we talk about details like that. But then I got into it with Jason, that I've known for quite a few years. Jason used to be a insurance broker, and he worked for the company that I worked for. They were our brokers. So I would see him at the gym all the time. We got talking, and, I actually think it started in the locker room, which is this story we like to tell. We're hanging out in the locker room together, and I was taking something as a recovery, I think. And then I think I just mentioned to Jason that, it'd be really nice to know what it is I'm actually getting out of this. They have the supplement facts on the back, but you never know what you're getting. And so that's when we kind of started talking. It's just like, he was the same way, and we just wanted to have a little bit more control of what we put in our body. So that's kind of where it started.
So you basically solved your own problem.
Yeah, I wanted to trust what I was taking, and I had heard horror stories about a lot of supplement companies out there, taking other people's products, putting it in their own bottles, and people mixing it with a spoon. It's scary. And so I wanted to have control over what I was actually taking, and Jason was on board, and then that's kind of where we all started with it and just kind of ran from there. So
what's your definition of success? How do you define success, and what's your mission? What would be your mission statement?
Well, mission for me is, I just always tell myself every day, is keep it balanced. And, we live in a society today where there's a lot of strain on ourselves, on our self-image and everything else, to where, if you're somebody that's lived in the fitness arena a lot, as an athlete or whatever, you are the worst critic on yourself. And that goes for anything.
I definitely agree.
I got burned out really bad. I was going to do a physique competition and whatnot. It just got to the point where if I ate even like a crumb of bread, that I was depressed, and anybody that's been in that realm has felt that before. And just, so to me, it was just about keeping a proper balance. It's be healthy, but at the same time, I'm going to have a beer if I want to, and I don't want to kill myself over it. So, but, so for me, it's just all about balance, and I just try to remember that every day. It's like, just keep everything balanced. But, for me, success is honestly, for a lot of people, everybody's different, but for me, I want to just have, I guess, what I call travel freedom. I just want to be able to pick up and go whenever I want, when I want, with no restrictions, So I don't know if that means having my own plane. I think that might be what it is.
I think it means not having kids.
Well, we're one for two. So
what are you looking forward to in the next 6 months?
For me, it's the travel thing. Simply, I'm going to Machu Picchu in the end of the year. So we're going to hike up that from the base to I think it's like a 5-day trek up to the top, and then we're going to go hang out in Colombia for a week.
Sounds pretty boring, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of how I like to keep it boring.
Jason.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your experiences with the supplement industry in general, and how you came to really create the products behind NXT SET.
That is a very long and sordid road. Started over 33 years ago when I was in high school and an athlete, basketball, baseball, football, whatever. If I had a ball, I played it. So I started taking supplements then. I was a skinny kid. I wanted to put on weight. So like Pat, like a lot of us, I took everything under the sun thinking, oh, this will work. Well, then I get to college playing football, and it was even worse. I got to take this to get bigger, stronger, faster, like now. Injuries kept me out, got me out of football at least. Crushed my 11th and 12th vertebrae, so football was no longer an option. Went through life. Like Pat said, I got into the family insurance business, and I thought, oh, this is cool. So I worked with a lot of doctors and on the back end, saw the medical world and kept taking supplements, kept going to the gym, kept playing the sports I could. Then some things changed with the situation at work, and I was kind of bored with doing insurance. So I went back and got my nursing degree. And it was really then that some aha moments happened for me. It's like I figured out, oh, this is how the body works. This is how the body wants to assimilate nutrients. This is how it uses it. Ooh, I've been doing this wrong for 30 years. Duh. So that's when the thought came to my head, let's do it better. Let's try and educate the consumer that there is a better way for the newbie who's just starting in some sort of fitness endeavor to the professional athlete. And that's when Pat and I were in the gym, in the locker room, and we kind of had the same thought and said the same sentence, let's do this better. And that's where if you want to say, the brainchild of NXT SET started. So I went and I called it the lab, kitchen table, and started writing down formulas based on my medical knowledge. And we came up with some formulas. We came up with an idea. We wanted to make it holistic for the people who are using it, as far as the pre-workout, what you're going to prep your body for, what you're going to put in your body during the workout, how you're going to recover after exertion, and make it accessible to people, make it a good, solid product. Our biggest thing, as Pat and I talked in the very beginning, was we want to make sure that people can have confidence in our product, that whatever is on that label, they can trust is in the bottle, that they are getting exactly what they are paying for, and they can trust our brand. So that's where the company kind of started, and that's a little bit of my background.
Define success and your mission statement.
Ooh, as I've gotten older in my ripe old age, success has changed. It used to be, well, I want a Ferrari, I want the big house, for me, no, for me, it's success is helping other people enrich their lives and have a better tomorrow than they had today. And if using our product accomplishes that goal, I consider that success.
And what would be your mission statement?
Again, that's to me, that's fluid, the mission statement, because like I said, I've changed, and as we grow and progress, and I think we change. My mission statement is, today, my mission statement would be helping people be the best that they can possibly be through linking mind and body to better health and wellness.
What are you looking forward to in the next 6 months?
Next 6 months? Well, I'm not looking forward to spring because I like snow. I'm looking forward to the opportunities we have here in the business. We have a lot of exciting things on the table and a lot of opportunities that could be very, very good for this company for growth. And that's kind of what's really charging my batteries right now, is the opportunity to move and get the word out and help more people lead better lives.
Peter, what's the biggest challenge for a new startup or a young company like NXT SET? Because you work with a lot of startups, you work with a lot of young companies. What's the number one challenge?
Getting initial traction, initial sales, figuring out how marketing converts back into revenue.
So for entrepreneurial minded people, what's the most important first step?
Really finding a product that fits the market that you're going after, product market fit.
So really solving a problem.
Yeah. With the right product at the right time.
What does NXT SET solve? What problem?
So I believe NXT SET, with a combination of 4 products, is really a cognitive enhancer as well as a great physical supplement for working out. I think there's applications with young athletes who need extra nutrition to perform. With our Brainchild product, it comes with some neuroprotective properties that can help in the future with other issues. There's an obvious need with the military with some of the cognitive issues in that segment. And we're beginning to make headway in the geriatrics market with some of the cognitive issues that are a little bit more persuasive with that audience.
So if you could target or persuade one specific demographic, one specific group, who needs this the most?
There's not a good answer for that. Because I would say if you're looking at young athletes who are susceptible to brain injury with TBI, they're likely to have issues later in life. If you look at veterans who are coming out of the military, have some cognitive issues, their need is now. They have a family. Some of them have a family, but their issues are manifesting in the present. And I think with geriatrics, I think it's a quality of life. I think if you were to ask anyone who's dealing with a cognitive issue who has the biggest pain, I think everybody would raise their hand. So
it's everybody,
yeah.
Basically. So Johnny?
Wait. Rachel, we skipped you.
Yeah.
How did
You're not getting out of this,
Yeah.
Rachel.
So how did you come into NXT SET? Tell us about you.
I was actually thinking about that today. I have given up a lot of opportunities that didn't feel right or fit right for me. And for me, that's freedom. That's the definition of freedom. When you can walk away from something that's genuinely, authentically incompatible with who you are as a person. And when you can step into situations, opportunities, teams, and potential that fits who you are as a person, that's freedom. I would rather have freedom than almost anything else. And I've sacrificed a lot just to maintain that freedom. I realized the other day I accidentally taught my kids that they are not lured by things that maybe other kids are lured by. They really do think independently and on their own. They make choices based on what's best for them, even though it's not popular. May not be popular with their peers. It may not be popular with their demographic, millennials and younger. But it's been something that I've really made a priority in my own life, is to be able to step in and step out of situations that are authentic to me. Next set feels true to who I am as a person. Bringing Revive to life felt like a mission for me, knowing that the research out there showed that it helped so many people. University of Utah and Harvard research, and then all the testimonials that we've seen, to be able to change somebody's life, like you said, Peter, in such a drastic way. You can look back on that when you're old in your rocking chair and say, like, I did that. I'm proud of that. I was part of that. Being part of the Next Set team is something that I'll always value, because I know you guys to be of high integrity, and I choose to work with people I want to work with, and the Next Set lineup has integrity throughout. I've developed supplements before. I've worked for companies where I've made well over 6 figures, and I know what's behind the curtain. I know it's like the Wizard of Oz. And really the transparency that exists with this group and this team, the ability to be candid about things that need to be addressed and need to be presented to the forefront. We're not trying to hide anything from anybody, and I think that's so rare, to work with a team and a group of people who want the best for themselves, and they want to share that with the rest of the world. So I would say success for me is maintaining that freedom. Like it's all about freedom for me, the freedom to step in and step out of things that are authentic to me. So at the end of the day, I can say to myself and to my kids, like, do what's right for you. It's not going to be popular. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, at the end of your life, you're going to be able to say that those decisions were real for me. They meant something to me. It's not going to be about money, believe it or not. Yeah. And I don't think any of us really are driven by that, or we wouldn't be on this team. There are some higher level factors that go into why we exist as a team. So yeah, success to me is working to build things. I work right now I love teaching. I've taught at the University of Utah. Currently, I teach in a situation where I get to feel really fulfilled teaching refugees and immigrants language arts. And they are mind-blowingly amazing. The things they've been through and the things they've suffered through, and the opportunity to really be at this point in my life where I can give back and leave a legacy of things that I've experienced as a human being, and to see how important that is to be in the give back stage of life at every level. That's success.
So where are you going to be in 5 years?
I'm going to be
Zions.
Yeah.
In the mountains.
Yeah. Probably doing more of what I do right now. Things have to have meaning. My relationships have to have meaning. They have to be authentic. And I love travel. I love the desert. I love the mountains. I love the ability to experience nature a lot. And relationships with my kids, those only grow stronger and are more enhanced. I am so proud of them. I have kids who are doing amazing things. And in light of parents buying their kids way into life, we were those really bad, horrible, terrible parents that said, you can do this, like pull yourself up by your bootstraps and figure out a way. So one kid is earning her way into college. Another kid has earned his way onto a mission, and one kid is working for Marvel, never gave up on her dream. So, with that new Captain Marvel coming out, she was involved in that. It's really fun to see what each of those kids is doing, and their definition of success is clearly defined by themselves. And so those relationships and those experiences only get stronger as time goes by. Really happy.
So you're not one of the parents who bought off the college admissions?
Well, no, we're the terrible parents who said, if you want to go to college, you'll figure out a way.
So what is the last thing, and I'll give it back to you. What's the last thing we should know about you that we don't know?
The last thing you should know about me is, I studied marine biology.
Oh.
And so, yeah, I know a lot about
Whales.
tides and tide pools and coastal California sea life. You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know that.
So
What's
with
your favorite
that,
thing about kelp? No, I'm just
my favorite thing about kelp is it's multifunctional. You can eat it, you can wrap yourself in it,
it's in
you can watch it.
It's in everything.
It's a great facial.
It's a great facial. So, where do you see Next Set in the next year, Pat? With the challenges that we face, with the opportunities that we face, plant us squarely where we are going to be in a year.
I'm hoping to at least be double the size we are now. I want to do a strong push for sales over this next year to triple what we did last year. So I'm hoping with a really good foothold with some of our markets too, in the military and, anybody else basically in the geriatrics that we were talking about. So to get to a point to where our products do what they do now on a level is basically sell themselves. So I think when you invest in quality, it's more or less that they'll just sell themselves, which a lot of the times they do now. We sell a person once and they're pretty much sold the rest of the time.
Yeah,
so,
we have a lot of return customers, don't we? Once people buy it, it's a return. It's an addiction. The people that I know that take it, it's truly an addiction.
Well, I got involved after the first 3 products were on the market. And I found with our Brain Chow product, you really notice the effect when you stop taking it, because you notice just how unfocused things get. You notice that you're no longer with it. But these guys, as we were talking, gave me a stack of their initial 3 products. And I thought, some pre-workout, intra-workout, post-workout, who cares? But I'll take it. I like free product. And so I took it, and I had a really great month at the gym. And I ran out, and I didn't think anything of it, went back to my normal routine. And then I began to drag at the gym. And I'm like, why am I having such a difficult time? Like, what am I doing that's not working? And then they gave me some more product, and it was just right back. And so I think it's really true that our products, all 4 of them, you really don't notice, you don't have a big surge in terms of performance, but you definitely perform much better, and you definitely notice that you're not performing well once you stop taking them, which I think that's the best kind of product.
Yeah, you want to be associated with a product lineup like that. Johnny, what's your favorite Next Set product and why?
Ooh. See, I'm not a big gym guy. I lost a bunch of weight recently.
Tell us about that.
Got into just understanding what I was putting in my body, and just learned quite a bit and got my shit together. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Got my stuff
It's
together.
a podcast. You do whatever you want.
No, by far my favorite product is Revive, and which is Brain Chow. It's our cognitive helper, but I take it. It doesn't taste very good. Let's be honest. It's not flavored, so I always take it with either Charge or Repair. And Charge, I'll take that with them. I love Charge. It's just,
And Charge is
it's our pre-workout, and I use it as a lifestyle product. I don't use it as pre-workout. I use it as a substitute for a Diet Coke or a Monster, or just a way healthier version of that.
you make a really good point. I've found that people who are really struggling with Diet Coke addiction can get off Diet Coke fairly easily by substituting our Charge product for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, my wife had a friend who, his wife had had a stroke, and she had been low energy for a year, and someone gave her an MLM product that was meant to increase energy, and she almost stroked out again. It was just like, which a lot of pre-workouts are like that. They give you so much energy, and you're either going to throw up or have a great workout or something.
Could be the same.
We gave her some Charge, and it worked like a charm for her. It gave her that energy, kind of like a cup of coffee in the morning, Diet Coke without the buzz, but sustained energy.
Yeah,
So what's your favorite product in the lineup?
I like them all. I like Reva. They all work
If I held a
together.
gun to your head and said you got to choose one, Peter.
Well, I know you would never hold a gun to my head.
Truly.
So I think we're good there. The Revive product is definitely, I think cognitive performance is the most important thing in my life. I think if you can make better decisions, it can be more focused. But I like all of them.
Okay, non-committal there. The whole lineup. It's all or nothing. Jason, favorite next set product. If you had to pick one favorite child.
You're asking me, these are my babies.
I know.
How can you ask me to decide between my children?
Let's start.
Because I
Which one
can.
is your least favorite?
That's the same question. Don't reverse psychology me. Geez, Rach.
If you were forced to really talk about your favorite next set product.
I'll take the bullet. Because I use them all so religiously. I mean, Peter, you made the comment of the pre-workout. I don't work out unless I have my Charge. I just can't. It's that good.
Yeah.
The gym candy, the intro workout, the compete. It's I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And I do notice if I don't take my repair, I am more sore. I am less enthused about going to the gym because I just don't feel right. And Revive, I can tell the fuzz. I can tell my brain fog. I can tell when I skip a couple of days. I can start feeling I'm like a click or two off center. So I mean that's a tough one, Rach.
Yeah.
I mean, I do love my Charge. I love it. But it's I can't. I can't go there. I can't say.
All right. Well, I tried. I'll speak for my family.
Which
so,
one's your favorite child, Rachel?
well, I'm going
Let's
to
go right
speak.
at it.
Yeah, my husband has a rockin' awesome body. Like my kids tell him that all the time. Like, dude, you don't have a body of a 55-year-old. You have a body of a 35-year-old, and he attributes it to like the next set lineup and being able. He doesn't have time to work out every night, but he really is in such awesome shape and such an example to my kids and the people that he works with and just people in general that know him. He's in good shape, and he relies on the next set lineup to keep him focused and to get through some great workouts. But he doesn't have to work out every day. Like as he gets older, he just has to have quality workouts. My daughter loves Revive. She mixes it with the Intra workout. She'll take two to three scoops of Revive a day. And being 18 is tough on any kid. She swears by it. So and then I have a 17-year-old who's playing baseball and football and pretty crackerjack skier, and it's like the whole lineup for him, the whole next set lineup. He's been bugging me because we ran out a few days ago, and it's a bad deal when we run out. Like I get a lot of squawking. So I have a really fit, super uber fit family, and they rely on the whole lineup. So I'm going to say, like you guys, there's not one that stands out that they can pull away and say, like, this is my favorite. They use all of them. They use them all consistently on a daily basis, and they do not like to run out. And it makes for, like, to me, I see like better relationships. I see that they're fitter, they're healthier, and that's really important. Like for family relationships, just people getting along with each other. Pat, do you have a favorite child?
Yeah, I have two, actually. For me, Revive is always number one because I'm just one of these people that's pro white matter over muscle. And so to me, your muscle's nothing if your mind isn't right. So, but as I've gotten older, what I've really started to latch on to is repair because I am starting to feel it. I'm not invincible anymore. I can't jump off a building and survive. And I've got one of my knees I've blown twice. So on like leg days or just anything active with your legs, I feel it a lot sooner than most people do. So I never go. Like I'll survive if I don't have charge or pre-workout. I'll survive that fine, but I won't survive the next couple of days without my recovery. And so I recover twice as fast with the repair. So to me, repair is king.
So are you talking recover from workouts or from hangovers?
It's all relative, isn't it? No, it's both. It's definitely both.
It's
So
funny, we have a lot of personal stories about number 3 really helping out. And
yeah, I've
Go on.
definitely used it
Elaborate.
for hangover cures for sure.
Jace can get into science, but it really helps clean you out.
Yeah.
And it helps your body clean itself out.
Well, it is a detoxification product. It really does detox with the vitamin C and the aminos and
the antioxidants.
Yeah.
And alcohol does suck you dry fluid wise, so the electrolytes and the aminos in there really help with the fluid balance. And the science behind it is there are many articles depending on who you believe, and that's coming more to the forefront, but super doses of vitamin C actually speed up the metabolism of alcohol. So there is some science behind the hangover cure.
Well, you shouldn't use it as a hangover cure, but rather prevention. And so if you think you're going in that direction, there have been more than one time that my wife, not me, had too much to drink.
Not you.
No, not me.
No.
That I'll see the writing on the wall. Jamie, try some of this. But it works.
Yeah.
Helps.
It really is a liver detoxifier, like if we market it as such. What advice do you have for somebody trying to pick out a nice supplement line for themselves? Supplements are not inexpensive. What advice, like with the experience that you have, specifically with people who really have to watch their pennies, maybe in the military? Peter.
Email us for a promo code. You try it, you'll love it.
Peter.
I think with any product, with anything that you buy and put into your body, you should think about how it should make you feel and measure it against how you actually feel. It's not super easy, but if you're taking a product and it's not kind of working for you, then it's maybe time to move on.
So really doing your investigative
I would say
work.
that more than anything. First, figure out what you want to do with your fitness or your workout or your improving my personal health. And then say, what am I asking my body to do? And like you just said, Rachel, do some personal investigation. Figure out, do I need more blood flow and oxygen here, or do I need hydration here? What am I doing? Does recovery really work? How does my body repair? Once you figure that out, then the product evaluation goes down to, does this product include the proper ingredients to supplement my body or encourage my body to do what I'm asking it to do? Then on top of that, I would definitely say, is this product GMP or NSF certified, which means has it gone through a process that it's been vetted out, that I know what I'm buying? Because like we said, supplements are not cheap. Am I getting good bang for my buck? Am I getting what I'm buying? Then after that, it's personal taste. Do I like it? Do I not like it? So I would go through, you got to be smart consumer today, because there's so many different products that are out there in the supplement world. So be a smart consumer, do your homework, figure out what you personally are trying to accomplish with your fitness, and then tailor a program, a supplement line to that.
Well, and going back to when we were working on Mommy, I had never looked at an SFB and looked at what the sources of vitamins were before visiting with you on that. But looking at the quality of the underlying vitamins is critical because the bioavailability, digestibility are huge, right? Buying a vitamin that's a multivitamin that's $5 for 90 at Walmart probably isn't going to do what you think it's going to do compared to a product that's a little more expensive but has better ingredients.
Yeah. So how come we have focused on the military? Tell me, like, each of us has a story that really sticks with us. Peter, what's the story for you that really sticks with you in terms of why we're doing this and targeting military?
I had a really good friend in high school. We were best friends. He enrolled in the Marine Corps when he was 17. And he came back and he was a little bit different just from boot camp. And we still hung out. And he went off to specialty school. And he came back and he was a little bit different. And he deployed to Iraq. He was one of the first in, was under-equipped. And we lost contact. And we became friends on Facebook. I don't know when. And it seemed like he had a good life. And I remember his wife posted a picture of him. And I thought, he must be doing really well. And I found out 2 days later he had killed himself. And I don't know exactly what happened as we lost contact, but I think, I went to an amusement park a year later and I saw a guy who looked like him, a doppelganger. And I thought, he deserves to be alive. He deserves to be happy. He obviously had PTSD. He obviously had a lot of other issues. And I wonder if a product like this could have helped him live life, because he's dead at 31 or 32, a lot of life before him. It's just a shame, especially giving so much to our country. So for me, that's part of why the military matters so much and why the fit with NXT was so perfect.
Makes a lot of sense. Thanks for sharing that. What's the one military testimonial or story that sticks out for you, Jason, in terms of NXT and why we're going after military as one of our target markets?
That one's difficult for me and Pat because we were in it from the very beginning, and to be honest, our military involvement sort of happened by chance, by accident. I happened to know on the periphery at the time he was active, Special Forces, and he was just looking for some free supplements to go overseas with his unit. Because they had tried the rock stars and the monsters, the coffee, it's super hot over there. They get very dehydrated and they were having deaths due to dehydration. And come on, guys, this is 2016. We should not have this problem. So we decided, basically for advertisement and promo stuff, we did a big campaign and sent some stuff over there to the Middle East. And during that deployment, a couple of things happened that sort of changed the course of NXT in my mind. One, the products responded fantastic to the point that the military allowed 2 of our products, Compete and Repair, to go downrange. They could use it in active duty because it didn't affect their mind or their heart or their lungs, or they didn't freak them out because it's low stimulant. It was hydrating them there very well. It was repairing them very well. So during that period, I got to be very close with this particular military guy, and the walls started to come down. And that's when another aha moment for NXT happened. He suffered dramatically from PTSD, depression, anger, all of those symptoms. And the medications that he was on, the antipsychotics, was astounding, and they weren't helping. And I said, okay, is this just you? And as in our conversations, we find it's military-wide. And I'm like, what? Our government, our military isn't doing what? So he actually reached out and said, can you help us? Which, as you know, spawned our business relationship, and that's how we got with Revive. And as that moved forward, and I saw the change in him first when he was our first adopter with Revive and the whole stack, and then subsequent those stories and the improvement in these veterans' lives to where these guys have lost wives, children's, homes, businesses. Their lives were gone. And like Peter said, these guys are 28, 30, 31, 32. And to see them regain that zest for life, to have their mind come back to a quote unquote normal state, that would be my story. That was so eye-opening to me. And, you know, I don't want to throw around the word life-changing, but it really was. It took NXT and focused it right on this problem, right with this group, and to see the success of these veterans, that they have hope, they have a alternative to medication. And that's been my story, is more or less all of their stories, and how, yes, we're impacting their lives, but they definitely have impacted my life.
Definitely. I can see that in you're relentless in like getting the word out and letting people know like this saves lives. In some situations you've seen it completely transform.
And when we say save lives, we mean it in a literal sense. Pat has stories, I have stories, we all have stories where these military men and women have come up to us and said, you saved my life. And that hits right home. That drives at least me, and I think it drives the team to press, to push, to make this kind of our life's work.
Yeah.
It's very fulfilling. It's a fun journey.
Yeah. For me, I took a course at the University of Utah called The Moral Injury of War. It was in the law school. And I was in there with a woman who had, like, her husband went off to war, and he was studying engineering at the U. He was top of his class. Brilliant kid. Brilliant. Like, they had an amazing marriage. He came back, and the only job he could get was a janitor at the U. So he went from top of his class in engineering to barely making it as a janitor at the U. And to watch her tell that story, and that she would forever have to take care of him because of the PTSD, because of what he'd been through, because he couldn't sit in class. He felt like he was never going to get that life back. And that we as a country had taken that from him, that was a moral obligation for me as an American to do something, to not just sit back and say like, oh, that's a really sad story. That really sucks for you. That there was at that moment in time, there was a responsibility. And I happened to be working with Peter at the time with what is now Revive. And I knew that we had the opportunity to bring that to market for these guys who, there are so many of them. What about you, Pat? One story that really motivates you in terms of targeting military as a recipient of NXT benefits?
Well, mine's probably a combination of multiple. I think the starting factor is kind of what Jason went over, is that special operator that we knew. He opened our eyes to a lot, and so once we kind of started going down that path, and I mean, I've had military members of my family. My cousin was one of like Peter's first responders into Iraq when we went in to remove Saddam and all that, and brother-in-laws and people like that. So we've had a lot of military through the family, and they've come back lucky, surprisingly, a little bit off at times when they first got back. But I mean, one of the things that scares you is that you don't really know. They could be completely broken and you won't know. And that's kind of where it leads me into the one thing that solidified me, is that the direction is we started going that way with Revive and dealing with the issues these guys came back with, is a kid I grew up with from, I think, about the time I was, like 10, somewhere in that area. He's a combat vet. He went out, he did a few tours, and he came back, and he was a brother of a really good friend of mine. And I had met him, we had run into each other over the years and things like that. And he seemed totally fine. It's the typical social media, curtain that everybody pulls down. That his social media, he looked great, looked like he was doing good and everything like that. But what I didn't know is that he was not at all fine, not even close. He had issues with alcohol, like a lot of these guys do. He was borderline an alcoholic, and come to what happened. Well, I guess what happened kind of solidified everything for me was that as we were producing Revive, it was about 2 weeks before we got it in hand from the lab and it was completed and everything was done. He'd killed himself about 2 weeks before. And so, and after the test cases that we were having with all our military members and just everybody that was just going crazy for it and saying it was helping so much, it was kind of gut-wrenching to know that, you know, we had it in our hands. We had it right here. And, you know, just couldn't get to it fast enough. So, and as I talked to his sister, which was the friend of mine that I was talking about, she just said he's had long bouts with PTSD, depression. You know, he was in the thick of it, you know, in Iraq when we first went in. And then he did a couple tours, I think, in Afghanistan too. So she said that he had horror stories that gave her nightmares. So that's kind of what got it in for me, you know. And I was just, after that, I was just like, you can't get it to him fast enough, you know. And I think a lot of these guys, it's, you know, that have taken it and we have been told by some of these guys, they use the term life-changing. That's not us, that's them.
Right.
And, you know, it's the biggest hurdle we have is getting to their hands fast enough. So, and it's, you know, it's getting there. It's getting there, but it's just, you know, it's just, there's a lot of military members out there. I think there's on average, what is it, like there's like about 1 million active military currently. So
Johnny, what about you? What's the one face or one story that really makes an impression on you as to why it's important for us to get this into the hands of people in the military?
Well, I think these two stories were, you know, had a pretty abrupt, sad end, but mine, I don't have one specific one. I apologize for that, but it's the guys that are taking it, that their lives aren't over, that they're just getting back on track, and that these guys are coming back, you know, they're fathers, but they're not acting as fathers. They're detached. They're, you know, back on their own, trying to work out these demons, and then are able to get on some supplements, think a little bit more clearly, and show up. And then their gratitude back, and it's like, we don't think it's just go be a dad, you know, because that's all I ever wanted, you know, is to show up for my own kids, and that's the experience that I've had with this product. So it's fun to see that in that community and in these guys.
Yeah. So with NXT SET supplements, we really are on a mission to get it into the hands of everybody in the military, everybody who has served, everybody who is currently serving, everybody who's at risk for, you know, like a traumatic brain event or improving mental health. We've seen, and we can say life-changing.
Yeah.
So we are on a quest. NXT SET.
And don't forget, we offer a military discount. Anyone who has served is serving for life. Is it 20%?
20% for life for all active or retired military. You can go into a secure website and put in your military ID, verify that you are of the military, and it's 20% for life, active or retired.
And I wasn't kidding with you. If you can't afford it, reach out and we'll figure out something, because it is life-changing.
Yeah, don't make price. You know, you can email us right there on our website, and you know, we understand that times are tight, and like Peter said, if there is an obstacle, reach out to us. Let's make this happen, because if we lose somebody, that's on us. If price is the problem, that's on us. Let's make this happen and see if we can't help as many as we possibly can.
Yeah, tell us your story.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you guys. I hope that those listeners understand why this team exists and what we exist for, and that it is a unique opportunity to really do something that benefits other people. And I really appreciate the opportunity to be on this team. And thank you guys for coming on today and introducing yourself and your stories and the reasons why you like NXT SET personally, and why you really want to change lives. So thanks again.
Thanks, Rachel.
Thanks, Rach.
Rach.